Tell me then, so what's the next task, Crazel?
There's a quiet whisper coming from the open gates of Trotsky, carried by the wind all the way here to me. Do you hear it too?
Aye, I hear it. Crazel's a loony. Crazel's a loony.
Scribe Erzim received a chest from Prague, and in that chest...
Hermes Trismegistos' document?
No, a book. And from an author even more venerable than Hermes. It's thin, with a sand-colored cover, embossed. Ordinary at first glance, you might say it's a kind of alchemist cookbook.
So you're gonna have me go and pick some locks at the castle, eh?
Did I say when the castle was still closed? I planned to get the book through the castle chamberlain. But now that you have...
What about that certain woman? What was your plan?
That's old news. The central figure is now the Trotsky scribe, Erzim. He's a great lover of knowledge. I'm sure he'd be happy to indulge another kindred soul and lend him the book. Indefinitely and...
You've obviously never needed to personally get into Trotsky. They don't exactly welcome people with open arms. The thought I'd get something there for free is pretty naive.
Just do your best. The book is the last piece of the puzzle. Looking back at your go and see Erzim and ask him about the book. Then you'll see how difficult it will be to get your hands on it. Best of luck, Henry.
I reckon I'll need it.
Take care, and good night.
What happened to you?
I fell out of that bloody tree.
Why did you...
I fought like gold, but instead of finding treasure.
I'm no physician.
But I won't get... You have anything to dress it?
Hold on. Here. Here, let me dress it.
Thank you. You're the first good thing to happen to me in a long... You know, I was born...
Stop feeling so sorry for yourself. Everyone has bad luck sometimes.
But I'm cursed with it. Even as a boy, I was always losing things. Constantly getting beaten up. And once I spent the whole summer laid up with some weird sickness. My parents spent everything they had on a healer who said he had the perfect cure.
See?
Well, it seemed that way, but when he went to get the cure, we couldn't afford another healer.
But you survived. I call that pretty lucky.
You think? I always wanted to buy myself a horse. I saved every groschen I earned. But it was never going to be enough. So I confided in my neighbor. And he said if I gave him all my coin, he'd win me. He told me he could cheat the local drunks because he had won.
And
That I did.
that's not bad luck. It's folly. People are bastards. You shouldn't be so trusting.
I'm not even finished yet. Since I couldn't buy a horse, I gave a groschen to a horse trader to let me ride one at least. But as we trotted through the woods, the nag's leg snaps. She was dead before I could fetch help. It took me 3 years to pay off that carcass. So I first lost money to a swindler, and then I had to buy a dead horse.
Still, it could have been worse. Everybody has setbacks.
You still don't get it, do you? All right, this will convince you. I like this girl down the way. But when I finally mustered the courage to talk to her, I found out she'd been poisoned by mushrooms the day before.
Yes, but...
Hang on, I'm not finished there. I found a dog. A nice little puppy. He'd follow me around, so I took him in and raised him. The moment he grew a full set of teeth, he bit me and ran off.
Right. Now this sounds like too much of a coincidence.
As he scampered off, the dog scattered a farmer's flock of sheep. As I helped him to round them up, I stumbled upon a pack of wolves. So I had one leg bit by a mongrel, and the other by a wolf. Only that wolf bite gets some dirt in it, and my whole leg goes black. I couldn't walk for a month.
All right. I see now.
My wife took care of me all that month. And just as I was getting better, she cooked some food in the pot and told me she had to go into town. She never came back.
Do you think she, left you? Maybe she was tired of caring for you.
Well, she took everything from the cottage that wasn't nailed down. So that's quite possible. And since then, it's all been downhill for me. As soon as I went out for the first time after my leg was healed, the bailiff grabbed me. He said 3 sheep from that flock had never been found, so I had to pay for them. But what with my darling wife pocketing all my coin, I ended up in the pillory.
If that's all true, I have to admit, you're cursed with bad luck.
Yeah, but today I was lucky you were passing by. Thanks, friend. My leg's all the better for it.
Glad I could help.
I'm sorry.
doing here? What are you doing here?
Greetings to you two.
What'll it be this fine morning?
I'd like to do...
Fine. Great. Happy. What do you...
I'll have a... I'd like to discuss...
Very well. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
The river there has a powerful current. The dead men have been flowing down the river. How did it go? I went to see him, but he turned me out. I feel surprised.
that everyone should have a good bow on hand.
Which king would that be?
Oh, I don't know exactly. But when the king commands, his subjects have to obey, don't they?
You didn't hear it from the trader who sold you the bow, by any chance?
Aye, come to think of it. It was him who told me. See you soon. Farewell.
Excuse me.
I heard some interesting books from... There's one I'd like to borrow. A sand-coloured...
Yes, several rare and astonishing. But why are you interested in an...
I've heard there are some interest... Every alchemist is in dogged pursuit of wisdom.
Perhaps you know more about that book. Well, I'll have to disappoint you. Lord Nickvard Libak helped me sort the new book, and the one you're looking for caught his... He left with it before I could... All I remember is the author's initials. B.B. I'm fairly benevolent when it comes to lending books, and I appreciate Nickvard, but he's had it borrowed for an excessive amount of time.
I'll have a talk with Nick Vard and find out what the problem is.
You think I haven't tried? But since you've already offered to address this pressing situation, listen to what I've learned. It seems Nick Vard... I've warned him repeatedly not to carry borrowed books around with him, but to leave them in... But Nick Vard is old and stubborn.
The price of such a book must be incalculable.
But I digress. As I said, Nick Vard is intentional. I've managed to find 3 people who've spoken to him recently. Bertha, the cook, Regina, the...
For a nobleman, Nick Vard is quite wary of his own kind.
I'm surprised that he's ever spoken to anyone, but Nick Vard is a loner. Which is also why I suspect some... Now that he's decided to leave his shell. But I'm afraid that's all I've managed to find out. Since Lord von Berkove's arrival, I've been
I'll help you. I'll ask all 3 and see if they lead me to Nick Vard.
Many thanks. If you aren't sure what to do, stop by and we'll discuss what you found out.
I won't keep you...
He took something! He's a thief! Here! He's the one that did it!
I'll have none of that. Halt!
Easy!
Pacify him!
I
Quick!
surrender!
You're a wanted man. Time has come for you. And if I don't find those...
Restrain yourself. If you think you can just give me a whipping, then...
Excuse me?
Only the heathens do that. You are a good Christian.
Well, of course I am.
First and foremost, upon...
You're having me on.
Well, according to the law... Look here. Nothing...
All right.
Naturally. About that...
Please tell me.
First...
Who exactly?
You said Nick Vard. Where at the castle?
Nick Vard lives like a hermit here at Trotsky. Like a His chambers are in the Crone's Tower. He took his meals down in the Crone's kitchen. Lately, I've often seen him talking to Regina in the... or looking out the hall window. I caught sight of him a few...
So I just have to hope I run in?
Nick Vard always just shows up. I'm not surprised you can't find him anywhere.
Where is Regina?
As Lord von Berkoff's personal maid, she'll like perhaps in the Knight's Hall, or on the floor above it, near the Lord's chambers.
Where is Bertha?
Bertha cooks for us in the Crone's kitchen. If you can't find her there, try the first house in the lower castle, across from the door to the...
Where is Hirsch?
I've seen him with Hirsch at the transport yard. He sleeps in the house directly across from it.
That's everything I...
Numbers a bit, but not letters. You can help me then. I need...
Greetings. Do you need something?
Bertha, instead of devils, I need your help now with Nickvard. The scribe told me you might know something about him.
Well, I'm waiting for Lord Libac to stop by. I brewed him another phial of medicine, but I don't even know if the last one helped. I told him to stop by for another one soon. I reckon he must be feeling better.
Nickvard needed medicine.
I can't say. I promised Lord Libac his secret is safe with me.
Oh, come now. Nickvard misplaced an important book somewhere. I need to find...
I remember the recipes by heart. And Lord Libac's secret is certainly worth more than any book.
Well, if a nobleman's secret is worth so much, how about this?
I suppose Lord Libac wouldn't mind.
Of course.
So many groschen. I promise I'll split it with Lord Libac when I see it.
But now tell me.
Well, it's a common potion for a bellyache. Just better tasting. It helps your meals go down easier and come out slower the other end. In that regard, Lord Libac had, well, how to say it? Everything came out much too quickly.
Nickvard didn't have time to run down...
It was in the privy down below the crone. I helped him clean his hose and made him the meds. Lord Libac is quite particular about the impression he makes on the young maids, you know. He didn't want this little episode to put them off. That's why he didn't use the privy near the maids' quarters, though it's closer to his chamber, but to the arena instead, and only when there weren't any soldiers around. But this time, it caught up with him.
Is that all?
What else is there to say? That the entire time he looked as if he'd done the worst thing in the world. It happens to the best of us. And I told him as much then. I'm just surprised, I must say. He did look as if the fate of the entire castle was suddenly on his shoulders.
I don't know if this is going to do me any good.
Well, you could have found a worse clue.
Thanks anyway.
You better watch out for me. Got it?
I'm not doing anything. You're doing a great job keeping watch.
You'd better believe it.
Do you know where I can find Nickvard? The scribe said you might know.
Erazim is suddenly interested in Nickvard and me. You don't say. But when I need him to read something for me, he never has the time. I'm sorry.
I was asking about Nickvard.
Aye, I heard you. Say, can you read?
I can.
In that case, would you mind reading this message I have from Nickvard?
Show me. Dear Mistress of the Chambers. What is it?
Oh, what I wouldn't give to get messages from someone else. Say, Lord Capon. Never mind. Read on. Though I reckon it interests you more than me.
Persevere. We shall soon escape the dungeon of those two women. Cursed fate, however, has placed an obstacle in my way. The heat of the Lightbringer's potion is working, and I can feel my insides being reborn. But when the last remnants of old age left my body, something else was washed away with them.
How much longer is it?
Not much. My damn clumsiness has sent all of the Lightbringer's secrets into the void, but fear not, I shall get them back. May this be the first task on the road to your liberation. That's it.
Beautiful.
True enough.
My, that's Liebach for you.
But what is...
Lord Lee, I suggested to him it wasn't proper for a noble to have an affair with a maid. But he thought I meant he was too old for me. But then he found what he calls the Lightbringer's potion book. He said it would light a flame, so I suppose it worked. Hooray!
I know the book he's talking about, but what...
Look, can we stop talking about this? I feel a little uncomfortable here, talking about some old love...
I need help. You can give it some thought, can't you?
No!
You better watch out for me. Got it?
I'm not doing anything. You're doing a great job keeping watch.
You'd better believe it.
Today's a thought.
Good day to you.
I'm looking for Nickvard. The scribe told me you...
Hey, Nick. I mean, Lord Liebach. I almost forgot about him. I suppose his task wasn't so...
What do you mean, forgot?
Nick Liebach, that is. He's a castle lord. But then I heard what another castle lord was planning. Von Berghoff. And he says there's a war on. So
I need to know more about what Nick...
No. There are new rules.
What are you blathering about?
Von Berghoff said, I told him, watch out for spies, Sir Otto. You're a spy yourself.
I'm not.
Ha! That's why you have to be vetted. The side that Nickvard's on, just so you know.
I'd like to.
Hold your...
Tell me what you want from me.
A sword.
Sword? Hmm? What sword?
A long and very good one. If you bring it to me, I'll forge one, buy one, or even steal one for me. Maybe from one of the guards at the training ground or down by the gate. During the day, then.
Steal a sword?
Not a spy who wants to help von Berghoff's most loyal servant. By servant, I mean me. See, once I get a sword, I'll...
You wanted a sword?
I don't want an invisible...
Listen, Hurst.
Don't try any word games on me. Deeds talk louder than words.
I'll gladly give you some grosh.
Only spy... Unless you had more groschen than... Then I'd believe you...
I'm not going to pay you that.
You want to hang on to your...
I'll think of a way to convince you. About Nick.
Got that sword?
You wanted...
I don't want...
I'll think of a...
What do you need?
I need...
Good day. What would you like?
I'll have a look at... I'd like to do...
Well... Hi. I'm glad you found what you were looking for, sir. Greetings, new friend. What would you like?
Show me your... I'd like to do...
Well... Aye, that... Thank you, sir, and come again.
At your service.
About Nick.
Got that?
You wanted a sword?
That's perfect. I don't think you're a spy. Can't say for sure, but...
What about Nickvard?
Nickvard asked me to do something for him. He must have admired my devotion to law. Either way, Nick looked troubled and not very healthy. He wanted me to fetch him, and I told him I would. At least I could check to see if anyone... But then Nickvard clutched his belly and ran off.
That's all?
Aye. If you run into Nickvard, ask him if he still needs it or whether he found it himself. I'll be going into war soon.
I'll tell him. You must be Nickvard, eh? Poor wretch. How many more times am I gonna have to poke around in corpses and shit for that damn cradle?
This is our place. Get out of here, or I'll make short work of you.
Piss off!
What fucking around? Enough. You've had your chance. Now I'll kick your teeth in.
You haven't a chance!
Show your stuff.
Taste my steel! Fuck you! Hey, that's the last one. I'll rip your arse open, and you'll get another right away. You want to try me? Pet that! Damn, I'm bleeding.
Ganging up on one man. Cowards!
You know I don't like that ugly word. What do you want to know about the art?
That's all. That's all. I have the book.
Well, I must admit, I haven't had an apprentice this handy in a long time. Zinnik has nothing on you.
I had a peek inside. The pictures are nice, but what do you want to learn from them?
You'll find out soon enough. Show me that miraculous thing. This really is something. But why is it all covered in shit, for fuck's sake?
Let's just say the scribe didn't have it. It actually wasn't even in the castle. Under it, really.
Oh, refining saltpeter. Boil wine and alum. Grind. Ah, of course, it makes sense. I'll study the rest on the way. Well, the last chapter of our story of knowledge awaits us. The grand finale.
So what now?
Charcoal. Sulfur from Hermes Trismegistos. Saltpeter from the carcass pit. As long as Black Bertolt didn't make any mistakes in his calculations, we have everything.
What Bertold? Oh, God damn it, Kraser, what's going on here? I'm tired of flying back and forth like a rag on a stick. I won't be led around by the nose. Will you finally tell me what's going on?
Believe it or not, all this secrecy had its reasons. But now it's time. We'll meet with the others in the lair, and there you'll learn the whole truth. You go ahead. I'm going to get...
All right, then.